Rachel doesn't think we can survive without her for 2 days. After all, she's mighty Xena warrior princess. It was Marco's teasing name for Rachel. Rachel has a tendency to be very bold. Anytime there's something borderline insane that needs to be done, Rachel is always the first volunteer. You know, Rachel, Marco gives you a lot of shit. Are you just going to stand there and take that? Give him a taste of his own medicine. Marco, you have hay stuck in your hair, Rachel said. Oh, snap!
When I opened the book, you know, I didn't know what I was gonna find. I saw the flashing light just coming down. Oh, what a beautiful sight. Then I was flying, Oh, super book, I was afraid to look. Super book, oh, super book.
It was the year 1997, and Animorphs had become a smash hit with young readers. Scholastics, realizing they had a success on their hands comparable to R.L. Stine's Goosebumps, sped up production and started releasing the books every month instead of every other month. They also commissioned K.A. Applegate to write a bigger special event book every couple of months. These special event books became the Megamorphs, longer Animorph adventures, and the Chronicles, prequel stories detailing the events that happened before the first book. Unfortunately, this led to some confusion, as Scholastic never found a way to make it clear where in the series continuity the Megamorph books took place. So, to reduce the number of confused kids if they accidentally read the books in the wrong order, none of the events in the Megamorph books were ever that important. It's amazingly frustrating. These books have roughly 60 pages more than the regular books, have room to expand on characters and events, or have some grand-scale conflict. But all that really ever happens in all the Megamorph books is just some general dicking around. Megamorphs were designed to be skipped. Megamorphs number 1, The Andalite's Gift, has the clearest place in the continuity, as it makes a passing mention to the Animorphs destroying the Kandrona in number 7, The Stranger, and events in this book are referred to in number 8, The Alien. The main gimmick for the Megamorphs book is that each chapter has a different narrator, which means that not all the chapters are in chronological order, and we see the same events a few times through the eyes of other Animorphs. The idea has potential, but I don't think they ever played with it to its fullest. For the sake of this review, I've streamlined the events. So we open with the Animorphs in the barn, and Rachel is conflicted over whether she should go or not to a 2-day gymnastics camp outside the city. It's something she signed up for before they became Animorphs, and she doesn't really want to get out of range should the Yeerks take this time to do something particularly nasty. But Jake insists that they all take the weekend off. Meanwhile, Cassie privately tells Jake that she's been having some cryptic, nondescript dreams about having to make a choice between two lives. So Rachel decides to go to the camp. As she leaves the next morning to catch the bus, she decides to jump into the woods to say hi to Tobias, where we get probably the most interesting bit of character information in the entire book, that Rachel has been giving Tobias books. Stuck as a hawk, Tobias is largely useless on most Animorph missions, so the idea of him using his spare time to educate himself is an intriguing idea, but it's largely brushed aside. Rachel morphs into Bald Eagle and starts searching the forest, but gets blindsided by some jays who think she's after their nest. Rachel hits the ground, unconscious. Meanwhile, Marco is trying to convince Axe to join him in a little party crashing. It seems that when Marco was 10, he was invited to a pool party by a girl named Darlene. When he ripped off Caddy's shack with the candy bar and the pool trick, she was pretty mad. Now Darlene is having another party, and has invited Cassie and Jake, but not Marco. So now Marco wants uncharacteristic revenge. He convinces Axe to join him by offering him powder for all the fleas he's been getting from living in the woods. The plan? To turn into mice and chase Darlene around like she's the stereotyped black woman in those Tom and Jerry cartoons. Why do we need the Axe for that? So Axe and Marco do this thing and end up chasing Darlene around while Jake and Cassie put their hands on their hips and fume. Pixie and Dixie make their way into Darlene's basement and start to demorph. Suddenly a giant sandstorm forms above the house, flies down, turns into a giant dust blender, and starts tearing the walls off the house. Marco and Axe cower in a crawl space while the monster tells them his favorite Space Ghost character. Brack! Meanwhile, Rachel wakes up in the woods, midway from changing from bird to girl, and freaks out. After a moment, she realizes she has no idea who she is. Really? Amnesia? We're going with amnesia? Amnesia was a cliche the moment science discovered it. Well, anyway, she's scared and a mutant, but manages to finish morphing back into human. At that exact moment, the dust monster loses interest in our two merry pranksters and makes his way to the woods after Rachel. Rachel makes a run for it, dashing out into a freeway. The creature follows, but crashes into a Ben & Jerry's truck, causing it to rain wavy gravy. For some bored kid in a station wagon, this is the greatest day ever. Rachel loses the beast and runs back into the woods. Back at Cassie's, the rest of the Animorphs watch a news report of 2 freak tornadoes. They catch a glimpse of Rachel in her leotard morphing suit and realizes she's in trouble, so it's time for a little Scooby-Doo. Jake and Marco make their way into the woods and start to morph wolves to do a little bloodhound work, but are quickly jumped by the dust monster, which causes them to run around the woods for a while. Meanwhile, Amnesia Rachel comes across a crazy lady in a shack filled with bits of clothes. Rachel manages to buy some shoes from the whack job by pretending a piece of bark is a credit card. But before Rachel can get out of there, the nutto pushes Rachel through a trap door and into a crawl space under the shack. The insane broad calls Rachel a Yeerk, and we figure out that this woman was once a controller. Some people have speculated that she might be the one woman the Animorphs managed to save all the way back in number 1 The Invasion, but there's absolutely no evidence to support that at all. The bat then sets the shack on fire, and Amnesia Rachel somehow manages to morph Grizzly and bust her way out of there. Suddenly the dust monster stops chasing the wolves and goes after Rachel. The bear tries swatting at it, but that just results in Rachel's arms getting eaten. That's when Axe comes galloping in, and for the first time in the series, Axe narrates. Now this is a big moment. Axe is a borderline brainwashed alien soldier. We would really like to know what runs through the head of this guy. Oh boy, I can't wait. Marco is highly intelligent, but he is also very afflicted by the condition the humans call sense of humor. Highly intelligent? I mean, yeah, he's the smartest human in the group, but Andalites take astrophysics in 2nd grade. You might as well have a Harvard math professor saying a 4-year-old is highly intelligent because she knows her multiplication tables. The beast of 100 gnashing mouths descended on the bear. The bear swung a massive paw. It was a blow that would have knocked my head off my shoulders. A blow that would have punched through steel. Do Andalites have steel? I mean, I'm sure Axe is aware of steel on Earth, but would he really instinctively think steel? How about a blow that would have punched through high-intensity transparent aluminum alloy? I mean, come on, K.A., make your alien sound at least a little alien. It lifted from Rachel. I had a flash of her bare body, wrapped in living ropes. The beast had not killed her. It had wrapped her up, as if wrapping a gift. Do Andalites wrap gifts? Do they have birthday cakes and streamers? Where do you buy alien wrapping paper? Do Andalites have Christmas? Do they celebrate Life Day? This might as well be a third-person narration, because it sure as hell isn't an alien talking. Well, in case you haven't figured it out yet, the dust monster is attracted to morphing. It goes after Axe, wrapping him up and lifting him into the air. After a while, it drops off Axe into Visitor 3's blade ship, flying in the upper atmosphere, and I guess it must have been a really nice day for Axe not to be a blue popsicle at this altitude. Visitor 3 is there. Visitor 3 is always there, and gloats over his newly captured Andalite. Now, Axe is bound by Andalite rule to kill Visitor 3 at the first chance so that he can honor his brother's death, but Axe is too scared to do anything. Now, this is a bit I liked, as it showed that Axe wasn't a total Andalite drone, but like all good character moments in this book, it's brushed aside quickly. Back on Earth, Amnesia Rachel manages to demorph and starts making her way back to the city, while Jake, Marco, and Tobias regroup to try and figure out what's been going on. Oh, and the crazy lady? We never see or mention her again, and she's offered nothing to the plot, except for a minor obstacle to lengthen the book. Hey, I think that means she qualifies for...
The big lived alligator moment!